name is Kathy Thaden, and I am a contemporary mosaic artist. My work includes abstracts and commission pieces, liturgical art, and I love to teach. I teach a lot of mosaic workshops and lead mosaic retreats across Colorado and in the desert Southwest. I love texture and including as many materials as I can in my pieces. For me, it is very much about using items that would have been discarded, especially in our consumer culture. I feel like, we throw stuff away, but there is no away. And so I've found exploring the diverse materials that I can include in my mosaics has really pushed me. Part of what inspires my mosaic art is the materials, the texture, the aspect of including as many things as I can, but I'm also inspired and kind of challenge myself to respond to the world around me. I find that I try to use my art to make sense of what's going on in the world. My work is almost always abstract, very rarely representational. And I hope to get people engaged in, they may say, what the heck is this supposed to be? And that's fine. I'm not trying to tell the viewer what I want them to see in my art. Maybe my title has a clue, maybe it doesn't. But it's the best way I know for myself to process social injustices, environmental issues, equity. Respecting the dignity of every person is important to me. So those kinds of things sometimes come out in my art, sometimes maybe it's a little more subtle. For me, the creative process is always unfolding, especially when I'm working for myself. It's an evolution. I may start out with a really clear idea in my mind of where it's going and end up someplace completely different. I do respond to the materials. So, I may be creating a monochromatic piece, and so I'm pulling everything off my shelves in my studio that fits into this certain color range and going that way. And with the texture, it's, well, do I have any stone that's in that color? Do I have any broken dishes, which I rarely use, but different things that I can find that will fit. But it is an evolution. It's an unfolding and really just trying to be open and not force it. It was interesting, the process of difference between working in my home studio where, if it's not happening, I'll go start a load of laundry or go start cooking dinner or something like that, and then come back to it later that day or the next day. In the 970 West studio, having this focus, this concentrated period of time, not feeling that I have to force it, but also not maybe running away from a design dilemma, but just taking time to be with the piece and see, well, okay, so why isn't it working? Do I take a breath and say, what part of this is not speaking to me? For me, I think a lot of the challenge is the medium. I don't meet many people who understand modern mosaic as fine art. I think a lot of people have an understanding of it as a hobby or a craft, kind of a basic art form, and there's nothing against that. Craft is something that we hone. Our craft is something that makes us better. I set myself a goal about 10 years ago to enter as many juried exhibits as I could, just to get mosaic art out there. And it was funny because most entry forms, you have to check a box. What's your medium? Well, there's no box for mosaic. So it usually end up, okay, mixed media, fine. But this is a very ancient art form that's been around for hundreds and hundreds of years. So that's been a challenge, but like I said, one that was self-imposed as a good exercise for me. I think another challenge might just be, how do I try to address some of these issues that are important to me in my artwork? How do I convey emotion? How do I engage a viewer in a narrative of, what can we do that's going to make the world a better place? Through my art, I hope people are engaged. I hope they learn something new by looking at the medium. I hope they are curious about what it is that I'm trying to convey in my artwork. The interesting questions are the ones that go deeper. I really enjoyed the opportunity to do a number of different programs, trying to find something that I could offer to people in an hour and a half as a mosaic appetizer. Here's just a little taste of the possibilities. Something that could be started and finished and they could take home. This is a little mosaic, whether it's, an upcycled metal tin, like an Altoid box, or the wearable art, the mosaic pendants that we let people make. So I think that was fun. Well, there were two things that were fun for me during the residency. First was just the chance to get to educate people and expose people to modern mosaics. I sometimes feel like an ambassador for mosaic art, and opening that door for people and showing them what's possible. Secondly, I just enjoyed getting to meet more people. I love to teach mosaics. That's better than making mosaic art is getting other people to make mosaic art. And so just meeting more people, giving them a taste of that was really fun. I came to modern mosaics in kind of a roundabout way. My background and what I studied in college was commercial art and graphic design. And I worked in television for 25 years. And I was at the very early days, the birth of the digital era. So computer graphics were brand new, and that's something that I enjoyed. But there came a time as things progressed in the industry and became more and more digital that I missed having a tactile aspect of art. Plus being able to do your own art that's not necessarily on deadline or somebody else's concept or photo shoot or ad copy. So I came across books on contemporary mosaics at our public library kind of by accident and thought, oh, this is fascinating. And I think it's part of my background as a graphic designer, just the tactile aspect, being able to move glass or stone or materials around on a board, change my palette, change, whatever. I was hooked. That was 20 years ago, and I've never looked back. I will always be creating.